So I'm sure you see these horrific videos right here. Monstrous explosion in Beirut. It's like a nuke went off over there. Let's take a second look. Boom. Monstrous blast with a crazy shockwave. So this is supposed to be a firecrackers plant, something like that. But in all reality, it's probably an undercover weapons plant, because that is a lot of explosives to blow up. It destroyed. Look at it. I mean, I don't know if this is accurate or not. Heavy damage in the area, and then damage reported. Windows, blown out up to 15 miles away or something like that. That is a monstrous amount of destruction. What did you say, Boris? It might have been Hamas or Israel. Israel could have. It could be that Israel found their weapons plant for making explosives, and they fucking sabotaged it and blew it up. Could be. We don't really know. I know for a fact that type of explosion had to come from, like, imagine if they moved what they were making there on a ship and blew it off the coast of some other city. Imagine that. That could have been anywhere. That could have been New York. That could have been anywhere. So someone might have got a wind of what was going on over there and just knocked the whole fucking plant right out. We'll never really know up to this point. I feel sorry for the people that were around there. There's a massive loss of life. But that's just really the game. I know that there ain't no firecracker. Like when fireworks factories explode, fireworks just flying, cracking, pop, 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 pop. None of that happens. Not a fucking massive explosion unless you're making a crazy batch of something, right? What do you think?
Yeah. So since it was in Lebanon, chances like if it was uncovered, it would have been Hezbollah. If anything, they're a terrorist organization named a terrorist organization by Israel and America. So if it was, a storage facility for explosives and stuff like that, it might have had to do something with Hezbollah. But the questions you have to also ask is, why do they have these explosive storage facilities next to big population centers? And it's obvious. It's because they figure that nobody else would destroy it. If it was in the middle of the desert and Israel found out about it or something, they would just bomb it right away. But since it's in an area with a lot of population, they need to do it. They think, their thought is Israel won't bomb it. I'm not saying it was Israel. We still don't have enough information to find out that Israel had done that. But I mean, granted, just recently Israel did an offensive on Hamas in Gaza, and they bombed with their aircraft a bunch of targets in Gaza, and this was just like a week ago or less. So it might be part of a larger Israeli operation. We don't know yet, and Israel's denying it, but it's not out of the question.
Yeah, well, Israel is holding it down, right? It gets the right intel. The fact that that stuff came out of Wuhan with the COVID, and it came out of that Wuhan laboratory. Israel, like someone told me that Israel knew where it came from right away. I heard that it came out of that lab way before, from somebody even in my family. And then it turned out to be the case that COVID-19 gain-of-function research slipped out of the lab, infected the world, fucked up the planet, fucked up the economy, destroyed lives, killed 700,000 people at this point. So shit like that happens, and Israel is on top of it. And I'm not super pro-Israel. I have respect to the Palestinian people. I wish them well. But Israel is going to hold it down. It's going to hold down that little scrap of land, and it's not going to let anybody fuck with it. I don't appreciate their settlements and all this other shit, but they should get something. And, listen, if you either have the rule in societies, we have rule of law, right? This is my mezzanine. It's not someone else's. It's not the previous tenant's mezzanine. It's not somebody came with their great grandpa and they were here, the mezzanine. But we have the rule of law. We go to court, we handle it, we have locks and keys. Nations don't have the rule of law. They have to fight and use force, right? Because ultimately the rule of law is enforced with force. U.S. Marshals come, they throw you out, or they put you in jail. You're speeding down a highway, they pull you over, you don't comply, they put handcuffs on you, you resist, they electrocute you or shoot you. Force is what they use. And in the wonderful world of planet Earth, force is what you use on the scale of nations to if you need to carve out some land. It's not the right thing to do by any stretch of the imagination. People are fighting over bullshit, but Israel and the Jewish people have a right for a home. People are also there. They also have a right. That's why you have to find a way to compromise and share. But when you don't compromise, you have to use force. And if the Palestinians could use force and overwhelm the Israelis, then they would hold the territory. But they can't. You know what I'm saying? They tried. All the other countries tried. They tried to take it from Israel, stand up and be bullies, and Israel, you know what I'm saying, obliterated all of them because they're smarter and they're more apt to war. And you know what I'm saying? And they have a tenacity. You know what I'm saying? You think you're so smart making weapons over here, boom, your whole shit explodes. It's not right. I'm not saying it's right, and everyone's got their opinion, and I think this, and I feel that, and I'm my family here, and this and that. This is the way the world works. You want it, you fucking have to hold it down. We're in the United States of America. The Dutch tried to hold on to it. The British tried to hold on to it. They get shot. You get shot. You know what I'm saying? This now belongs to the United States. It was a British colony. It was the Dutch, then it was the British, French-American War, whatever the fuck it was. You're gonna get shot, and you gotta go back to where the fuck you're at. That's the way the world works, and that's it.